Episode 264. This would be the 100th episode of my Heavensward playthrough, I guess, considering that the A Realm Reborn playthrough ended at episode 164. This whole Heavensward thing probably won't continue up to 64 more episodes. It'll probably be significantly shorter than the A Realm Reborn playthrough was, but I'm still pretty surprised it got up this high, and there's still a few more things to go through. There are a number of things that I have to get through in the last patch 3.5 stuff. Just the normal story stuff and some side stuff I wanted to do. And yet here I am doing A Realm Reborn stuff with this mining quest, when there's all those other things I need to do. I'm sure it'll be fine though, as long as this doesn't last longer than the A Realm Reborn playthrough 164 episodes. I think I'll be fine with this. It's all adding up, all of these side things we're doing. They're all important, kind of, just to experience most of the stuff in the game. We're on the level 15 quest now, but we're already level 50 since I was able to get into the diadem. At level 15 with all that gear, it was actually no problem farming all of the lowest level stuff, up to level 50. Seems like it's specifically designed so that no matter what your gear level is, your item level, you'll be fine with that first item. But we do want to get the higher level items through this quest, so I can start mining the higher level stuff in the diadem for the next stage of levels, up to 60, and then 70 and so forth. Komoy, I've been searching high and low for you. You have a visitor, and no ordinary one at that. I speak of Deep Canyon, vice foreman of Amadina and Sons Mineral Concern. I think that guy's a recurring character. It seems word of your sizable haul of obsidian has reached his ears, and now he wishes to meet with you. I can only speculate as to his intentions, I'm afraid. We haven't spoken much of late. Truth be told, I've scarcely seen him. You'd never know it, but we used to be close. Anyway, I suggest you go and see the man. Find out what he wants of you. He's waiting by the entrance. What, he was there the entire time? I guess he's right outside the door. They spawned him in. Nothing related to the quest. You must be Komoy Moriko. I've been waiting for you. I'm Deep Canyon, vice foreman of the concern. I must say, you're not what I was expecting. I was sure Adalberta's newest protege would be an Alamegan. Like every other miner, this place produces these days. But I'll wager you're from even farther afield. And that you're an adventurer. Could you not be an Alamegan? Like, if you select Cure and then... Well, I guess your only options are... What was it, Midlander and Highlander or something for here? So I guess I would exclude you from being an Alamegan, but I could have sworn, I don't know, you could like get the Alamegan tattoos if you chose a hero and customize your character that way. You could even get like the skin tones that you would expect from an Alamegan. But apparently there's no way of doing that if... Well, maybe if you're a hero, his voice line would be different. Probably not though. Well, I guess it's not too important. I doubt anyone... Well, actually, maybe there are people that would want to roleplay Alamegan. It's actually hard to roleplay where your character comes from, because no matter where you go, everyone thinks you're from somewhere else, basically. So you can't roleplay as a native Uldan, or, I don't know, as someone from Hingashi or something. No offense, but in these parts, adventurers are known for being fickle buggers who break pledges like the rest of us break bread. Truth be told, I've always wondered whether you lot are actually good for Uldan. I'm the warrior of light. But it seems you're not like the others. Yeah, we aren't. It takes more than a job in miner to deliver on an order from the concern. Really? Job in miner? That's what you... Well, maybe we are a job in miner. I have a mind to assign you work, real work, but before I do, I'm obliged to test you. I want you to procure 10 ounces of cinnabar for me. Do this and we'll talk about more lucrative undertakings. Of course, a bit of cinnabar shouldn't pose much trouble for the guild's rising star. 'Tis but a formality. And speaking of formalities, be sure to tell the guildmaster about your little test. She's the one in charge around here after all. I won't have it said that I'm undermining her authority. I feel like this guy, despite what he was saying, does think of us as a jobbing miner, the way he's telling us to go find cinnabar. A test from Deep Canyon, you say? I thought as much. In case you don't know, cinnabar is a material used to make quicksilver. It's found in certain types of rock, and you invariably need a sledgehammer to get at it. Now, I don't mean to dampen your spirits, but contrary to what you were told, cinnabar isn't easy to find. Oh really? I'm pretty sure it is. Now you're treating us like a jobbing miner, talking us up, telling it's something hard to find, when it's like level 15 or something. In fact, it's known to elude even experienced miners, and here you are, tasked with procuring 10 ounces of the stuff. Safe to say, this test is no mere formality. I may not be able to help you dig, but I can point you in the right direction. Search just outside the Sunrise Gate. The rocky outcrops thereabouts are known to yield cinnabar. 10 ounces may sound like nothing, but take it from me, you'll have to work for every one. This is a big task, Omoy, but I believe you're equal to it. They're talking it up, but I'm pretty sure it's, where are we going? Cinnabar is... Right, it'd be the other one. There. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a case of we kind of experienced during the botnet stuff. If you were leveling with just the gear that you're getting from the quest, without really going out and getting gear yourself, or using gear that we previously had, like I did, then this might actually represent something that you would only get a few % of, a percent chance to actually mine, and maybe even 0% chance for Gatherer's Boon or whatever. But since we're level 50, it's no problem. Oh, and I guess give us some of this. Just to put it in our log while we're here. Oh, and we even got this thing triggered where we're getting 2 per swing on top of Gatherer's Boon. Should be easily breezing through the rest of these quests. Without the grinding, maybe we can even finish up all the mining quests this episode. That'd be great. I want 10 ounces of cinnabar, not one less. Oh, and make it quick. I've got other commissioners that want seen to. Here's your cinnabar, exactly 10. Your Majesty. Well, well, the full amount. Congratulations, Komoy. You've passed the test. Seems you've got even more potential than I'd been led to believe. This guild's no place for a lass of your talent. I'd make you my personal assistant, but sadly for you, the position's not open to adventurers. Why? Because the concern only employs those whose roots are firmly planted in Ul'dah. Our nation owes much of its prosperity to the mining trade, but more and more we see outsiders growing fat off the knowledge of our forebears. I guess I kind of imagine Komoy as being from Ul'dah, but no roots to Ul'dah. She left. She's a traitor, in this guy's eyes. Oh, I know full well that there's decent foreigners out there who give as much as they get. Yourself for one. Right, we're foreigners now. We're no longer citizens. But ultimately, what belongs to Ul'dah should stay in Ul'Dahn's hands, in Ul'Dahn hands. Of course, the current guildmaster doesn't share our way of thinking, which is something I dare say we'll need to see about correcting before long. Might be as business is good, but 'tis better to be short-handed than to watch outsiders make off with our wealth. But we were talking about you, Komori. Yeah, keep talking about us. I don't care about that other stuff. You've proven yourself capable, and the concern will have more work for you in the coming days. Depend on it. Before I go, here's some free advice from me. Pay more attention to your gear. What you wear and wield affects how well you work. Even a decent pair of gloves can make a world of difference. Take my word for it. These things cost money, 'tis true, but what's the price of a pair of gloves compared to the untold wealth that lies out there, waiting to be dug up? Bugger all, that's what. On that note, I'll be off. I don't doubt we'll meet again soon. Assuming you stick with the trade long enough, that is. Yeah, all about gear. Again, probably because this would have been before you started paying attention to gear, and this quest might have been hard without the gear. So speaking of, which of these do I already have in my inventory, I guess? The shoes. So if I'm considering leveling my fisher in the future, which I probably will do at some point, I'll need something that I guess I don't have in the inventory that would help. Well, actually, I'll just be in the diadem fishing, won't I? So all this gear doesn't matter. Forget it. And fisher would be the last time we need gear anyway, because it's the last gathering class, and they're not adding more gathering or crafting classes to the game. I doubt it. Ah, Komori, I hear you passed the Vice Foreman's test. Well done. I never doubted that you'd manage it, but I'm proud of you all the same. Tell me, did Deep Canyon have any words of advice for you by any chance? I see. In case you're wondering, the Vice Foreman used to be a miner himself. But more than that, he used to be my mentor. My father was a miner too, but he died in a cave-in when I was but a child. The guild's been as a home to me since, and its members my family. I grew up here, watching girls sing and dance on that very stage. No, didn't really think of the stage as that kind of stage, but is this like some kind of burlesque Wild West situation or something? Am I using that term right? I've enjoyed them for a while. It seemed the best way to please my adopted family. I didn't want to become a miner back then, you see. After what happened to my father, I could scarcely face the thought of spending a moment underground, never mind a lifetime. Not that the stage suited me much better, which left what exactly? Having been surrounded by miners for as long as I could remember, I began to wonder if I truly belonged among them. I even considered leaving. It was then that one of the guild's brightest and best took me by the hand and showed me the joys of mining. I speak, of course, of Deep Canyon. He taught me everything I knew, which was a great deal, and the more I learned of mining, the closer I felt to my father. I owe a lot to Deep Canyon, despite how things turned out. But I'm rambling. I meant only to tell you that the man knows what he's talking about, when it comes to mining at least. Now it's high time I taught you something. You are here to learn after all. Yeah, we came here to learn about rocks, nothing else. We don't care about Deep Canyon or Cinnabar or whatever. Just rocks. It concerns the Vice Foreman's advice to you. He speaks true. A miner who neglects his gear can't hope to work to his full potential. In the past, if you wanted to improve your gear, you had little choice but to replace it. But these days we have materia. By your confused expression, I take it you're not familiar with this stuff. No, this isn't a confused expression. Well, maybe it is a confused expression. Komori's confused. Why you think materia is such a secret art? Everybody knows about it. Well then, I reckon a lesson is in order. Simply put, materia is a kind of crystal that enhances the properties of equipment it's attached to. The attachment process is fairly simple, but that wasn't always the case. Time was you needed substances called catalysts, and digging the stuff up once formed a healthy part of a miner's workday. Now, even though no one needs catalysts anymore, there's still educational merit in the gathering. To that end, I want you to try your hand at mining a variety of it, namely Grade 1 carbonized matter. 15 fragments ought to do it. You'll have the best luck searching around at the Neville checkpoint, over in the middle of Enosia, and you'll most definitely need your sledgehammer. Grade 1 something or other, with the sledgehammer. Grade 1, there it is. Kind of far afield. Should be a quick flight though. Oh yeah, I have this, hedgehog now. Hedgehoglet. Just got it from one of these coffers? Material coffers that you get from turning in company seals at your grand company. Contains a random mount or minion. I never really used that on my main character, but I figured if I'm getting a lot of company seals as Komoi, might as well roll the dice with what I can get from there. I still need to use company seals for other things, but at least I think I will. But before I max out on company seals, I figured I might as well use them on something fun. Alright. Give me... oh wait, we can't like increase our yield from the boom with this. We can do this though. Now we get 2 per swing. Kind of costs a lot of GP, but it's the only thing we can do with our GP, so we might as well. Have I never picked up a fire shard before? Apparently not. Oh, is that it? The yield increased by 3 somehow. I don't actually know how that happens. Something about stats or random chance? Just give me one of these. To mark it off on our list. Can't say I remember this questline too well. I kind of remember the characters. When we're talking to them, I remember what they sort of feel like when they're talking. Mainly Deep Canyon and Adalberta. But I don't remember what we talk about later. Now goes your search for the carbonized matter. Don't forget, it's 15 fragments I want. Use your useless, outdated material. Only good for educational value. Aye, precisely 15 fragments of Grade 1 carbonized matter. Well done, Komoi. Now I expect you're keen to learn about materia. Well, the first thing I should tell you is that it's not been around for long, in Eorzea at least. Knowledge of its use only came to our shore a few years back. The process of enhancing equipment goes something like this. First, you take well-worn gear and extract materia from it. Don't ask me how. What, that sounds like the most important part. You then take that materia and attach it to the item you want to enhance. It's this procedure, known as melding, that once required catalysts like the kind you brought here, or brought me. I should mention at this point that the actual task of melding is something that only skilled disciples of the hand should attempt. That's weavers, goldsmiths, and so on. So yeah, we're useless in the whole melding process. So why even teach us, right? These people used to depend on us disciples of the land to supply them with catalysts. Then catalyst-free melding was discovered, and we lost not a small source of work. But that's just progress for you, and I try to be happy for it. Now there's various kinds of materia, each offering unique benefits. And as I'm sure you've guessed, some of them can be exceedingly useful to miners. It's these which I recommend you seek out. Once you've found a material you like, you just need to ask a friendly disciple of the hand to to do the melding for you. I'm sure there's one among your acquaintances. Well, we are one of those. And into the trash the grade 1 carbonized matter goes, I guess. Comor, you couldn't have come at a better time. We've been here. One of our number has been taken ill, you see, and I need someone to handle the work assigned to him. Tell me, are you familiar with effervescent water? Alchemists use it to make a substance called natron. I was gonna say, that sounded familiar, that's why. And bakers use natron for leavening, that is, raising dough. Without it, there'd be no ginger cookies, crumpets, blood currant tarts. Sounds like you're a fan. Ahem. As you may have gathered, I'm fond of the odd sweeter tree. Of course, effervescent water is good for more than just baking. A lot of miners ask for a drop of it in their drinks. Makes a stronger stuff, that bit more refreshing, you see. And let me tell you, there's nothing better to wash away the dust of a hard day's mining. But you didn't come here to hear my thoughts on food and drink. You came here to learn about mining. And so you shall. By procuring some effervescent water for me. The Alchemist Guild needs 15 bottles of the stuff, and urgently. They couldn't stress that enough. From what I can make out, they themselves are scrambling to fulfill an urgent order for natron from the Bismarck in Limsa. It's one of Eorzea's finest restaurants, in case you didn't know. Anyway, you'd best get going. You'll need to work fast to make up for all the time I wasted, chattering about sweets and grog. Oh, and you'll have the best luck mining around Buscaron's Scar, over in the Black Shroud. Effervescent water, there it is. Here. So they named that section of land after the barkeep, huh? Because his name is Buscaron. Buscaron, whatever. What was it named before that guy was there, or even well established? Buscaron's druthers, well, I guess there was maybe no name for the place. They established a town around the bar or something, around Buscaron's bar, and then it became Buscaron's druthers just right next to it. So somehow Comor is bleeding water from rock. I guess she's learning something about rocks she never expected. Oh, I'm surprised to see this isn't 100%. Ah, forgot to do the gatherer spoon. Nonetheless, it should be a pretty quick gathering session. We don't have to worry about grinding. I keep on saying it, but I just keep on reminding myself. Keep on remembering. I don't have to do it. It's such a relief. Of course, I did all the grinding off-screen, but somehow grinding on-screen is more grueling, even though it takes more time to do things off-screen than do this part. And back to Thanalan. The more we talk about the Miners Guild, how there is a bar and how there used to be people dancing on the stage, maybe even there still are, but we just don't see them. Kind of feels like this one corner of the map feels more homely, more familiar, kind of like comfy even. Like it's a bar, there are no chairs to sit in, so it's kind of disappointing. There's no one actually dancing on the stage, so it feels kind of run down. And you can't even buy any drinks from this guy, so can't really get drunk with these other guys. But it's still kinda nice, I guess. Even if it's sparsely decorated. It at least has some character, I think. 15 bottles of effervescent water, quick as you can. And remember, you'll like to find it in Buscaron's Scar, over in Gridania's South Shroud. Here's 18. Right in the nick of time. My thanks, Kamoy. I'll see to it that these are sent over immediately. But before I do, I should probably expand a bit on what we were talking about earlier. Specifically, the part about mixing spirits with effervescent water. See, I wasn't lying when I told you a lot of folk find the combination refreshing. It is refreshing. In fact, adding a bit of bubbly water makes the stuff go down so easily, you have to be careful not to drink yourself under the table. I say this partly for your own good, and partly because the lad whose task you just took care of wasn't careful. Daff sawed through up right where you're standing, but it didn't end there. He then stepped in his own puke and split his head open on the bar on his way down. Suffice it to say, he won't be working for a while. Maybe we shouldn't be standing here. Thankfully, you took up the slack, and all is well with the guild once more. I could do with a few more like you, Kamoy. Keep up the good work, you hear? And replace that. Kamoy, just the person I was about to send for you. We never left. There's an order I want your help with, see? It comes from the Gladiators Guild via the Vice Foreman himself. You recall the time I had you procure obsidian? Well, this time, I need you to find Wyvern obsidian, which is a good deal rarer. How rare, you ask? Let's just say I've handled this stuff no more than a dozen times in my life. So yes, it'll be a bugger to find, but don't worry, you won't be working alone. It just so happens that one of your guildmates has volunteered for the task. And considering how difficult it's like to be, I've decided to have the two of you work together. Your partner's name is Wide Gully, and he's waiting for you on the far side of the stage. Go over and introduce yourself, and he'll tell you everything you need to know. Run along now, and good luck. I kind of like the way these crafting, gathering quests sort of progress. You just start out doing some menial tasks. As like tests or whatever, as you're joining, but as you're entrusted with the more, I guess, normal tasks that are just part of the day-to-day business, you get to know the people and you get to, I guess, feel like you're actually part of the guild rather than just leveling up or something. You must be Komori, the guildmaster's pet. I've heard much and more about you. They tell me you've got talent. Trouble is, you're an adventurer, and anyone with an ounce of sense knows adventurers can't be trusted. Adalberta is sorely mistaken if she thinks you're any different. Likewise, she's sorely mistaken if she thinks I'm gonna help you find 15 chunks of Wyvern obsidian. I'd sooner fall on my own pickaxe than see you take the credit for my hard work. That said, I'm not about to risk getting kicked out of the guild for disobeying a direct order. Luckily, there are other ways to handle this. What do you say to a contest? It's nigh on as good as cooperating, and so long as the client gets what he wants, Adalberta won't have cause to complain, will she? So here's the deal. We mine for Wyvern obsidian separately, and whoever brings back the better haul, that's to say, the purer haul, is the winner. Simple, yes? Now we both know I've been doing this a lot longer than you, and I won't have it said that I've trounced a novice. So to make this more interesting, I'll give as long as you want, for all the good it'll do you. Oh, and you can even go and talk to the client if you like. His name's Roger, and you'll find him outside the Gladiators Guild. Might be as he can tell you something useful. Take all the time you want. You can even etc. etc. I'm wondering if this quest may be the way he was talking about the purer haul or something, because in the end we're just going to collect 15 of the stuff, right? No different from the other quests. But I wonder if this quest maybe used to be high quality gathering. It's the sort of thing that was deprecated at some point. Maybe sometime around Endwalker or something. So now everything that you gather is just the same quality. But I guess in replacement there's Gatherer's Boon. I think this used to be a skill for high quality gathering. I don't know. I am Roger. What can I do for you? Got yourself into a contest with White Gully, you say? Oof. I don't envy you, miss. I don't know much about mining myself, but I do know that White Gully is good at his job. You can't be Deep Canyon's son without knowing a thing or two about being a miner. Oh, I remember now. Right, I remember the connection. Okay. Anyway, I have no idea whose idea this contest of yours was. But if it means I get goods of better quality, you won't. That's no longer a thing. You won't hear any complaints from me. Now you want to ask me about Wyvern Obsidian, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you what little I know, but remember, I'm a gladiator, not a miner. Saying that, I haven't graced the blood sands for a while. Took a nasty blow to the knee, you see. Rest assured, the fellow that dealt it got far worse. Anyway, I'm all mended and ready to make my return. And I want it to be glorious, something that'll be sung by the bards. So I thought a shiny new sword was in order, and there's nothing like a plumed oak here I have to pronounce this again, Makohuidal to draw a crowd. Why? Because it doesn't have a single piece of metal in it. Okay, that's a new one. Makohuime. Okay. Makohuime don't count as wait, what? What is this sentence anyway? Makohuime don't as a rule. I guess they don't have metal in it as a rule, is what he's saying. And maybe Makohuime is the plural of whatever the singular was. I already forgot. No, not a speck of metal, but if you wield it right, the shards of wyvern obsidian embedded in the blade will cut armor like a hot knife through butter. Ah, but I'm rambling. You want to know where to find the stuff, not what I plan to do with it. I vaguely recall the conversation I had with a miner a while back. We were talking about the Makwahuime. Oh, did I mention that's what you call more than one Makwahuidal? You didn't, but I gathered. This guy sure likes talking, huh? About things that I have trouble pronouncing. Well, it is. Oh, where was I? Oh yes, we were chatting about Makwahuime. And the fellow said that he'd previously dug up wyvern obsidian around Thal's Respite in eastern Thanalan, and that's all I know. Hope it helps. You still here? Listen, I don't mind you having this little contest, but I'd like my wyvern obsidian before my next bout, if it's all the same to you. Well, maybe you should have shut up sooner. We can just find this thing. Right here, in the log. We didn't need you to tell us where it is. No, wait. South Shroud? Is that faster? I think it is. Makwahuime. Makwahuidal. Makuahuidal. Pretty sure it's the former. Makwahuidal. If I ever have to pronounce it again, that's what I'll say. But this might be the last time ever. Right here. Yeah, surprisingly low % chance. And yet 100% chance of Gatherer's Boon. I am wearing like the level 50 gear, right? I guess not. I didn't even realize I didn't have high level gear. Maybe I should. No, it's fine. As long as we can do all of the quests, I don't need to pick up any more gear for the Fisher. Oh, I guess that one location just had a higher chance of Gatherer's Boon. Still need a couple more. Oh, and actually, give us one of these. Yeah, if I worried about getting all of the good gear, then it would just save us, for instance, what happened just now. We were only striking rock for like 40 seconds or something like that. The better gear would only save us maybe, I don't know, 15 seconds out of that, every time we went out for one of these quests. Probably not worth worrying about getting that gear, and definitely not worth clogging up my inventory with all of this junk. Oh, over here. We got it. Was that fast enough for you? What's the matter? Don't tell me you're having trouble finding a paltry 15 chunks of Wyvern obsidian. Well, here's 17. Everyone does this pose. They all inspect rocks by holding their hands out like this. They're feeling the rock through the air. Oh, managed to scrape together the required amount, did you? Well, then let's see your sorry specimens. Just for the sake of Bugger me. They're black as night. This is some of the purest stuff I've ever seen. How in the seven hells did you find these? You, a mere adventurer? Well, we ventured out and found them. I'm loath to admit it, but your obsidian's superior to mine. Well, might it be that as you've bested me on quality, but there's more to being a miner than that. You need to be able to give the client what he wants, when he wants it. In other words, you need speed. Without it, quality counts for naught. It took me 90 seconds. I was by far the faster man, so we'll call it a draw. Okay, I guess it took him 20 seconds. He had the slightly better gear or something. But mark my words, I'll best you next time, both on speed and quality. I'll see to it the obsidian gets to Roger, whatever. In the meantime, why don't you go and tell the guildmaster all about it? I care not what you say. We're gonna tell on you. We're gonna tell on you and say you were mean to us. That guy was mean to us. Ah, Komoy, how did you find working with White Gully? What? He was mean to you and challenged you to a contest? As if the task weren't difficult enough. It was easy. I'm terribly sorry, Komoy. That was hardly fair of him. He's a born miner. What's that? You beat him? Truly? Yeah, it wasn't a tie. In Komoy's words, we won. But he's one of the guild's very best. Well done, girl. Eh? He claimed he was faster, did he? Well, speed is important. But White Gully set the rules, and by those rules, you won. Fair and square. You've come a long way, Komoy. A long way. You make me proud to be your mentor. At the same time, though, I must admit that the miner in me can't help feeling some envy. But it's that which keeps a veteran like me on my toes. Lights a fire in my belly. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Keep doing what you're doing, Komoy, and I'll do my darnest to keep up. Maybe I actually wanted those goggles. Oh well. No way of going back now. Good to see you again, Komoy. I'll be pleased to know that Roger was deeply impressed with the obsidian you got for him. More so than that, he was impressed that you bested White Gully in the contest. 'Tis no ordinary miner who can outdo the vice foreman's own son. Lest you wonder, I knew full well who White Gully's father was when I tried to pair you both up. I also know for a fact that he has his sights on my position. There are some who whisper in my ear that I should expel him from the guild, but I can't help but think that's short-sighted. After all, it's hardly a crime to want to be a guildmaster. What's more, White Gully is a tremendously gifted miner, and I'm not in the business of punishing excellence. To be sure, I'm still better overall, but I'm not above admitting that there are certain areas in which he's more knowledgeable. I tell you this because you'll need to speak with him again for your next task. I can't wait. We've received an order for 20 raw amethysts, you see, and none among us know more about the stones than he does. Now I realize you didn't exactly get off on the right foot with White Gully, but the two of you are guildmates, and guildmates help one another no matter their differences. If you say so. You have to help me. Strolling over, bold as you please, after humiliating me the other day. It was the same day. It was 5 minutes ago. You've got some gall, adventurer. I know why you're here. I heard about the order for raw amethyst too. No doubt you're wondering where to find them, and you're after my hard-earned knowledge. Well, I'll gladly share it with you. Why so obliging, you ask? 'cause the knowledge ain't gonna be worth a damn to you, that's why. You'll find the raw amethyst you can carry near about Hope Seed Pond, over in the central shroud. The problem has to do with the beasties inhabiting the place, more not else. Lindworms, stropers, sprites. I hear tell even Jada Jody's made her home there. Even Raoban would have trouble taking a stroll through that neck of the woods, let alone a common adventurer playing at minor. You realize what you're saying, right? Adventurers are like more combat-oriented, so they would be better suited for strolling through those areas. I don't think he understands what an adventurer is. I don't expect to see you back here, with 20 hairs on your head, much less 20 of them stones, haha. Okay, White Gully. Or rather, that's not the location. Which one was it? Raw Amethyst, this one. Over near Hawk Manor. When I saw a White Gully on the right side of the screen, I thought, that's the location I have to go to. But no, that's the guy's name, we know this. And yeah, we have the sneak ability, but I just don't like seeing all of those things floating around me. And there's Jada Jody, huh? But we don't have to worry about this, cause we're level 50. We're too tough for them. Not really, they'd probably still kick our ass. But they keep their distance all the same. Unfortunately, we have to mine over here, where the music is blaring super loud. It's actually 20 this time, so a bit more mining. We should be done with these though, I think. If the percentage chance is kind to us, which it does seem to be being. And back to Thanalan. I know the Almagina and Mines whatever company. They have something to do with, like, the main story, right? Weren't they the ones that owned that mine that's that one dungeon very early on, like somewhere around... I don't know, was it here or... Maybe it was over here? Where was it? Or was somewhere here in Thanalan? It might have been over here even. Somewhere in this area, it was this one, yeah. Copperbell Mines. I'm pretty sure they own Copperbell Mines. Oh, right. This guy. You'll find your raw amethyst near the Hope Seed Pond over in Central Shroud. Let's see how much you're willing to risk for 20 of them. Haha. Here's 22. Bugger me. You mine these amethysts? I can't believe you made it past all them nasty creatures. Though it might be as it's time I stopped being so surprised. You goddamn adventurers come through more often than I care to admit. Many road, it's one thing to find the amethysts. But do you even know aught about them, their properties, what they represent? Thought not. Well, here's a free lesson. Yeah, teach us about rocks, that's what we're here for. Amethysts are lightning aspected gemstones, prized as embodiments of calmness, decisiveness, and intuition. And coming back with such a large haul of them, it would seem you've got all these things. I might have been hasty to pass judgment. The more I see you work, the more I see why the Guildmaster is so fond of you. I never imagined an adventurer would give me my toughest competition. And I was learned better than that, to take every adversary earnestly. Seems I'll have to redouble my efforts if I'm to secure my place as the best in the business. Don't you worry about the precious amethysts you brought. I'll see them safe to the guild stores. I look forward to our next contest, adventurer. That's when I'll drive the pickaxe home that I am the better miner. Pretty fun. Giving you a rival for this little mining guild side quest. Not much of a rival, you kind of outdo him at every step, but it's a fun little side plot. Have you heard, Komoy? The latest tally has you tied with Wide Gully as the guild's highest earner. You started out as a novice, with a rusty pickaxe, and now you're one of our stoutest pillars. You've come truly a long way, my friend. Are you calling us short? That's what that means, right, Stout? I find myself turning to you more often for difficult orders, the bulk of which have been coming from Deep Canyon. As you should well know from past expeditions, these tend to entail going to dangerous locales. I'm loath to put my people in harm's way, but the concern owns us, in truth if not in name. It'd be ill done to refuse their requests, no matter how onerous. But just this once, I've a mind to do just that. I can't in good conscience order you to a wild place like Hortus, merely for the sake of 20 pieces of jade. Now, that's what Deep Canyon is requesting this time, and if I have to send someone, you've rightly proven yourself the best candidate. But you should understand how risky the endeavor. Think long and hard before you do something we both regret. While you're mulling it over, though, I should let you know that Wide Gully wanted a word. You'll find him in the usual place. What's wrong with Hortus? Afraid of a little cold? I take it you've heard about the job, and I can tell from the look in your eyes that you're already on board with giving it a go. When you came back with the amethyst last time, I came to realize something. A true miner must be prepared to risk life and limb for his prize. Mining for jade at no less a place than Haldros March in Hortus would be the perfect way to put my conviction to the proof. I challenge you to another contest. The first to find 20 pieces of jade and deliver them to Adalberta is the winner. The superior miner by all objective measures. And off he goes. Feels like he's actually competing this time now that he's moving his ass. He was just kind of standing here the entire time, the other times. Might be over here? No. Jade. There it is. Thought it was raw jade, it's just jade. What's so dangerous about Hortus? I guess it's like canonically, well, I don't know if it's canonically, a level 40-50 area or something. Does that mean the beasts are necessarily tougher? Because if you go by that logic, then everything over in Dawntrail in the New World, those level 100 things are all just crazy monsters that would easily kill anything that you find in Eorzea. We need to go south. Invasive species wouldn't even begin to describe it. Oh, and give me one of these. Damn. This might actually be a bit of a problem. I should maybe be spending my GP on increasing our actual mining chance. Well, I guess we can do both, huh? Well, that just means it's gonna take like 20 extra seconds or something. Not that much longer, I don't think. Very noisy over there. Is a player actually doing this? Incredible. People are doing fates, but they're probably doing them over in the Dawn Trail area, for the sake of relic weapons. One of the steps requires that. But it'll probably only bring back the whole fate scene for a couple of weeks or something. Which means I should probably get on that myself if I don't want to fall behind. The relics also require some high-level crafting and gathering. I had it in mind to do the crafting and gathering myself, but I might just have to resort to buying them, if I can't do all of those steps on my own. Especially if I want to do those steps fast, because the second step of those relic things require grinding through daily bonuses and stuff, so the faster you do that first step, the better. I understand White Gully has challenged you yet again. I know the temptation is to seek out victory at whatever the cost, but winning isn't everything. You do what's right for you, Komoi. Well, winning is right for us. We won. By the 12, this is the Jade, and such fine samples too. Congratulations are in order. You've won the contest. By default, that is, White Gully never got his 20 pieces, you see. As he went about his work, he lowered his guard, and was attacked by a fell fiend. Oh, maybe that was him, being swarmed by that pack of Gobus. Maybe he was just like obscured by all those Gobus and they were all kicking him while he was down. He was screaming for help and we were just mining for Jade. I headcanon that. His wounds were such that it was all he could do to run to safety. His whole of body is somewhat worse for wear. He's like to be out of action for a while. But that's not the worst of it. More than the wounds you can see, I worry for his state of mind. He saw you as a rival to surpass, but he ended up losing in a contest he himself devised. That kind of disappointment is enough to break most people. Trust me, I know. But I pray that White Gully has the strength to get back on his feet and take up the pickaxe once more. It'd be a shame to lose one so gifted. Let's return to the matter before us, though. I wasn't exaggerating about the quality of this jade. Its purity and strength allow you to see why it's thought of as the embodiment of immortality. Since ancient times, man has chosen to adorn his tools and guard with it. Imbuing yourself with the everlasting is certainly an attractive notion. I think that's sort of like a Chinese thing, right? Like ancient Chinese myths. Even people supposedly swallowing jade for immortality. Might have heard some more of that kind of stuff through the apothecary diaries too. And no one is more aware of that tradition than White Gully. It's for that very reason I intend to craft or create for him a gift of jade. The stone bears my hopes that he will rise again, no matter how often the spinner might see fit to test him, and bring him to his knees. Now that does seem to happen pretty often to him. Which quest are we on now? 45? Yeah, we can go on a little bit longer to wrap up here. We're just about done. Ah, Komoi, I was hoping you'd come by. I need your help with something. It concerns White Gully. He's recovered from the wound suffered in Coerthas, that was fast, and resumed his mining for the guild. Wonderful news, to be sure. But one thing yet troubles me. You see, White Gully has been taking on far more tasks than a single man should. Some attribute his newfound fervor to the sting of losing that ill-conceived jade contest. But I suspect there's more to the tale. And I tried to broach the subject with him, but he's as stubborn as an aurochs, insisting it's naught but my imagination. But I know there's something. And where I failed, you might succeed. Strange though this may sound, you're the closest thing he has to a friend here. So I beg you, Komoi, speak with White Gully, and try to learn what ails him. Do what you can to ease his burdens. How fun they're having this arc in this optional minor side quest. The whole rivals to friends arc. No doubt Adalberta sent you. She's been on me something fierce since I came back. But it doesn't matter why you're here or at whose request. The simple truth is, I need your help. I've got a secret that would be sure to bring great shame on my family. But I need to tell someone, and I know that you're an honest sort. His secret is that he's never actually swung a pickaxe. We've never actually seen it on screen. He's been pretending this whole time. That is that the concern I've been tampered with, and I'm being credited for work I didn't do. Okay, it's sort of like that. Receiving credit for not swinging the pickaxe where he didn't. Or something like that. Basically similar to what I said, in a weird way. Wasn't keen on believing it, but the culprit is my own father. I first suspected something was off when I received my last evaluation. I know better than anyone what I do around here, and I knew I wasn't working that much. I looked over the concern's records of its dealings with the guild, and sure as day, I found some right down in evidence. Didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I never wanted it said that I had a leg up in the guild, because I'm the vice foreman's son. If I was to succeed, I wanted it to be by my own hands. Learning that my old man was falsifying my accomplishments was like a punch to the gut. And that's why I've been working so feverishly of late. By fulfilling enough orders, I'm hoping to turn my father's lies into truths. But I've taken on more jobs than I've got hands to juggle them with. So like I said, adventurer, I need your help. I'd say I'm swallowing my pride to ask you this, but I've got no pride left. Whatever happens from here on out, I'm a miner first and foremost, and I just want to do my job. Right now, the order giving me the biggest headache is one for 20 chunks of Electrum ore. You can find the stuff south of Camp Bronze Lake, over in Upper Lenosia. Please hurry, and thanks. They always tell us where it is, but we never know exactly where it is. Yeah, it's kind of fun for a character like this, right? He kind of treats you roughly at first. Kind of calls you out for being, I don't know, being cocky or something. Even though your player character probably is nothing like that. Then it turns out that he's actually got a heart of gold or something like that. Not a heart of gold, more like he's earnest, he's really into his craft. Not just for prestige or whatever. They start out with making your rivals seem kind of, do I want this? I don't think I want that. Making your rivals seem like this guy you would never get along with. But then he comes to respect you, and that just makes you respect him, I guess. It's fun. I guess this is why I'm doing these episodes. Enjoying these little side quests for little moments like that. Things that a lot of players maybe never saw. And things that I did see on my main character, since I did do minor, but I did end up forgetting, I think. Should I be using it on this instead? Maybe. We are just about at time for the episode right around now. No good. One more. Yeah, I think I should have used the DP on the basic chance. And I haven't been equipping my latest gear, have I? So yeah, right around now is where we would reach the hour mark, more or less. But we are on the level 50 quest right after this, so I think we'll only be on maybe 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how quickly the dialogue goes. I'll accept like a 10-minute longer episode at the most, for the mining quest. you got the 20 chunks of Electrum ore yet? In case you've forgotten, you'll find them south of Camp Bronze Lake, over in Upper Lenosia. Please hurry. I couldn't have mined better ore myself. You've done me a great kindness. Gratitude rolls queerly off my lips, does it? Or does it? Mayhap that's something that comes more natural with time. 'Twas only my pride that held it back before, and as I said, I have naught of that left. I have to work harder than ever now, to make my fictionalized accomplishments more than just ink on parchment. As of now, I'm a fraud. Plain and simple. Not unlike this Electrum, really. 'Tis impure stuff. Gold mixed up with silver and other metals. That's fun. Always fun how they tie back the rocks you're mining to some symbolism with the quest. Oh, what am I saying? That comparison ain't fair to Electrum. At least this alloy is worth something. You see, when refined, Electrum takes on an opulent whitish hue, not seen in other metals, and there are certain things that can't be made without it, so it's prized by crafters. No, if I'm too liking myself to any metal, it'd have to be common brass. Stuff's pretty enough to look at when polished, but worth little and less. Now he's beating himself up. What a sad arc to be in. God, I had dreams of being special, a one-of-a-kind type of miner everyone respected, but now I just... Enough of this brooding. I hate myself as it is. No need to add being a whiny sop to my list of failings. You saved my hide today, Komoi, and I'll find a way to repay the debt. Mark my words. Gotta love a good... Does this look any good? No, it doesn't. Gotta love a good rival in a video game side story, or any story really. Like Kieran. Kieran's one of my favorite rivals in a Pokemon game. They're not similar, Kieran and White Gully, but just thinking about that whole rivalry story. Anyway, the level 50 quest. Our finale for the miner. Komoi, thank the gods you're here. It's White Gully. He's gone and filed a complaint against his father to the concern, citing an abuse of power. It has forced Deep Canyon into a difficult position, to say the least. And though the two of us haven't exactly seen eye to eye of late, I still owe the man a great debt. I would go to him and offer what aid I could, but he's like to spurn even the attempt. I know full well how much I've already asked of you, but I would be eternally grateful if you'd lend Deep Canyon aid in my stead. To get started, it might be best to see what possessed his son, to inform on his own flesh and blood. I mean, we didn't snitch. I'm glad he did. But we weren't going to. Here at the Guildmaster's bidding again. Well, I see no reason not to tell you about the situation. You know most everything, any road. My old man was forced in dangerous jobs on the Guild, forcing its members to risk life and limb for his own agenda. If that ain't the very definition of abuse, I don't know what is. You yourself were on the receiving end of this, I'm sure you'll recall. Yeah, actually, I guess this all ties back to, like, what the clerk was telling us about the history of miners, which, I guess, reflects the history of miners in real life. Kind of fun that they use that for inspiration for this story. How the workers get abused by those people pulling the strings just for their own profit or whatever. And even though the clerk said we were moving past that with his guild, I guess in a way it was still happening behind the scenes. Get or no, I couldn't stand by and watch my guildmates being used like pawns in his game. So I went to the concern's upper management and filed a complaint. He hasn't said a word to me since, but I'd have a guess that he might be willing to speak with you. You've certainly done your fair share for the guild. He's out by the entrance now, or right now, in case you want to hear his side of the story. If you're wondering where my father vanished to, he's been summoned to an inquest. The chairman of the concern himself, Master Furgeis. You might have heard that name before, I don't remember. I'll be in attendance. And that's just the beginning. The chief foreman's sons will be present as well. The twins Popokuli and Sesaruka, we have met them, for an adventuring quest that was like over in the Temple of Karn or something. It'll be a sight to behold, all the guild's top players in one spot. And it won't go easy for him, you can be sure of that. You're in trouble. It's been some time, Komori. You're doubtless here as regards to my son's accusations. Well, it's just as he claims. Now this ain't gonna spare me what's coming, but I had a reason for my actions. Vengeance. Good reason. I was supposed to become Master of the Miners Guild. Everyone knew I had the best claim, but Adalberta robbed me of the honor. Me, the man who taught her nigh everything she knows about her trade. Then be proud for her. She went behind my back and conspired with her predecessor, and then fancy who ended up being chosen to lead. By way of payback, ever since I became vice foreman, I've striven to make Adalberta's life harder than trying to mine with a dull pickaxe. All those outrageous demands to make her look incompetent. At the same time, I went about ensuring my son was well placed to take over as guildmaster. And my plan was about to bear fruit too, if it weren't for you meddling kids. No, till you came along and ruined it all by being my son's better. By your expression, I take it you're doubtful of the tale. Well, you need only ask your dear guildmaster. He can vouch for everything I said. And off he goes. Off to trial. He's guilty. What? Deep Canyon believes I cheated him out of becoming guildmaster? That's not it at all. I never aspired to this position. Gods, I was only an Alamegan refugee, working as hard as I could to get by. I never even dreamed that I could rise as I did. And I suspected even less that it was that self-same dedication to my work that would lead to me being chosen. If I had known that accepting the mantle would tear us apart, lamenting the past won't avail us. I only know that I wouldn't be where I am without that man. I can't allow this misunderstanding to cost Deep Canyon everything. I simply couldn't bear it. I'm not sure there's aught we can still do for him at this point, but we must try. Listen, White Gully's the one who filed the complaint. If you were to throw your own weight behind some of my concerns, then maybe he could yet do something. Please, Komori. It would mean so much. I mean, we have no stake in this, but okay, fine. Adalberta wants to help my old man. Truth be told, it ain't my wish to see his career destroyed neither. I only wanted to teach him a lesson. Make him know that he can't just use people for his own ends. But now that the concern knows, it's been taken out of my hands. In their eyes, my father's actions have jeopardized relations with the Miners Guild, and nothing could be worse. So they've given him a test. If he's to remain vice foreman, he must prove at the inquest that he still has the confidence of the guild. And they ain't interested in no words. They want hard evidence. That is to say, they're demanding that someone from the guild show him loyalty by going and digging up 3 of the toughest damn chunks of ore there is to find. Dark steel. Problem is, he's got no allies in the guild, on account of his own behavior. And I certainly don't qualify for the task being his son. And Adalberta can't do it neither, because she's the bleeding guildmaster. That's just how it works. That leaves you, Komori. You don't have much time before the inquest begins, so you'll have to hurry. And I wasn't exaggerating before. Darksteel's elusive as all hells, located in the snowy reaches of Cortes, and nowhere else. To actually find the stuff, you'll first need to use your Truth of the Mountains technique to locate unsprawled mine and mineral deposits. Then, and gods know why, you'll have to survive a night in the cold for the deposits to reveal themselves. Finally, you dig, and you pray. When you have enough chunks of dark steel ore, take them to Adalberta. I'll make sure she knows what's going on. 1 a.m. Eorzean time. Oh, perfect. We can actually do this ourselves. Cortes. Okay. Let's go there quickly. Come on. There we go. I was about to buy this from the market board, but if we can get it, like, quickly, like right now, that'd be great. Truth of the Mountains. Last time I did this for Botanist, the level 50 equivalent, I just bought it from the market board, because I didn't want to wait, but it is right here. And we should be well equipped for it. Dark steel ore. We just need a few. Give me this. And this. And we might as well get these things. Mark them off the list. Oh, we're not done. Okay, now we're done. We got 7. Yeah, everyone comes to these temporary nodes whenever the time comes. It's like a nice little moment where players, I guess, just kind of run by each other. A shared moment in an online game. A little thing, but it does matter, I guess. White Gully's told me all about the situation. Be sure you bring in the dark steel ore as soon as you've got it. Now I feel this bears mentioning, but regarding how to go about obtaining the ore, it may sound ridiculous, but it's exactly as White Gully says. You'll need the endurance to survive a night in Cortez, and the technique Truth of the Mountains to locate unspoiled mineral deposits. To speed your way. Yeah, we're done. We actually got 8. Incredible, Komoy. Your talents are truly boundless. Hopefully, these will suffice to spare Deep Canyon. But let's make haste to the inquest. White Gully is already on his way. Oh good, we get a cutscene. That means a free thumbnail. What do we call this episode? Trial by Stone or something? I'll come up with something. Well, did you get a guild member to bring you dark steel ore? Cause make no mistake, Deep Canyon. If you come to this inquest empty-handed, we will end you. Your time with the concern will be just a memory. Well... We have the ore right here, procured by Komoy Moriko of the Miners Guild. They love it. They love the dark steel. 12 be good. She isn't lying. This is dark steel, and some of the finest I've ever seen. It's no ordinary miner who can find dark steel, let alone stuff that looks this good. Seems your reputation is well earned. Yeah, we've met. You should know us already. That said, we're hardly here to question your ability, though I find myself wondering as to your motives. Why did you bring the ore? We just love rock. Aye, I'd know the same. Why stick your neck out for him? He's given you nothing but trouble. What in the 7 hells are you trying to pull at, Alberta? I don't need anyone's pity, yours least of all. I'm not here to give you my pity, but to clear up the misunderstanding between us. Misunderstanding? Listen to me, Deep Canyon. I never wanted to become Guildmaster. The responsibility was thrust upon me, and there was naught else to be done for it. Gods, when my name was being bandied about for the position, my first instinct was to take myself out of consideration. Aye, I spoke to the Guildmaster in private, as you say, but it wasn't to connive against you. It was to give up my claim. You expect me to believe that? If I had truly betrayed you back then, why would I have bothered to come here? Or would I have bothered to come here? But if that's true, then everything I've done, by the 12, to have taken this so far, You didn't want to admit defeat, Father. Adalberta beat you out on her own merits. You knew this in your heart, but you refused to accept it. In your pride, you convinced yourself that she betrayed you, but by doing so, you only validated why you were passed over for Guildmaster in the first place. Please, Father, let go of the past. Accept that you were beaten, as I have with Komoy, and let's start over. Parallels, wow. You have it in you to do so, Deep Canyon, to begin anew. I know of your love for mining more than anyone. If you would be willing to try again, I promise you the Guild's full cooperation. Full cooperation? Are you sure about this? I would leave the past where it belongs, in the past. The Guild wants only to look forward, and to continue working with the concern. Komoy was the biggest victim in this whole affair. Yeah, talk about us, we're the victim here. Yet she is willing to give Deep Canyon another chance. She wouldn't have brought the Darksteel ore otherwise. That's all well and good, but what about you? Can you really forget everything he's done? I can. Above all else, I miss my old friend and mentor. To get him back, I would forgive much and more. Adalberta. Well, I'm inclined to lay this matter to rest. Any objections, Sesse? If you're satisfied, brother, then so am I. Then it is settled. Vice Foreman Deep Canyon, by request of the Miners Guild, you shall retain your present office at Amadina & Sons Mineral Concern. Through hard work, I trust that you will make amends for past transgressions. Kind of weird that the Lalafels on the left and right there. They're kind of shorter than the tables, as you can see. Weird for them to be standing behind them. I'm full glad that it's over, Komoy. I would have a word with you in private. Would you mind returning to the guild with me? This actually took much longer than I thought, this last quest. I guess I should have known. It's a big finale. I asked you here so that I might thank you properly. Had you not been on hand to help, Deep Canyon's career would have ended prematurely, and in disgrace. Worse, I might have lost my dear friend forever. I owe you a debt that I'll likely never be able to repay. Ah, but look at you. In no time at all, you've grown into a miner who can make the earth yield up even Darksteel ore, the rarest of metals. There's nothing left for me to teach you. As an adventurer, you'll like to find yourself in all corners of the realm, but wherever your road takes you, I want you to practice our craft for the good of all. You're welcome, boy, and may your toils never go unrewarded. Okay, and let's actually choose one of these. This one actually pretty good, even if it doesn't quite match. I would actually like the full set. I think the full set is what she's wearing. Yeah, it is. But we don't actually get the choice of the chest piece, which is what I want the most. Because that one comes with a lantern around the waist, which is like the best. The miners get like lanterns on their clothes, which actually do give off light, so they're a fun piece of clothing to have. I guess we'll just get the helmet. If I could get the entire set, that might be a nice glamour. But it might be hard to get the full set, because that costs skill from buying on the market board if you don't craft it yourself. So yeah, give us all of that stuff, and I guess this is going to be our glamour for now. Kind of weird looking, doesn't exactly match. Maybe if I turn the scarf to yellow or something, I don't know if I can do that. Well, whatever. But anyway, doing this mining stuff was all just in service of being able to grind out things in the Ishgardian Restoration, the diadem and all of that by getting materials for my crafters to level up. All of this to make my leveling easier for any classes that I have later down the road, on top of doing the big goal, relic quests, eventually. For the Ishgardian restoration, I am planning to do that before I end my whole Heavensward stuff. This episode ended up being much longer than I expected, but I guess that's fine. It would be kind of weird if the 100th episode of the Heavensward stuff ended up just kind of cutting off in the middle of the mining quests. So I'm glad that I at least gave some kind of climax to it. Even though it's not really Heavensward stuff that I've been doing for this 100th special episode, but who cares, right? In the end, this is just another episode, and the next episode is going to be just another episode too. Now would be a good time to take a break.